Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio, so today we're going to be looking at the little Pokemon. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, just like we did with Crimson Invasion, and that video went down very well, we're going to be looking at all the pre-evolution Pokemon that are coming up in the upcoming Ultra Prism expansion and answering the question, are they better than what we've already got? Now, the flu is largely over, but not entirely. If I miss one or two, chuck them down in the comment section. We'll fix it. But I feel good. I've done a lot of research. Let's get rolling. And let's start off by looking at Turtwig. Now, we don't have an existing Turtwig, but we do have two Turtwig that are coming out in Ultra Prism. And it's nice and simple. One has 80 HP, one has 70 HP. And in a format with stuff like Decidueye's Feather Arrow hitting the bench and the Tapu Koko promo, there really is no argument. You've got to go for the 80 HP Turtwig. Now, moving into Piplup, we again have two Piplups, a 60 HP and a 70 HP. For the exact same reason, you have to go for the 70 HP Piplup. Now, we do actually have a Piplup around at the moment from Breakthrough, but it's got 60 HP, so my argument remains valid. We stick with the 70 HP Piplup. Now, in terms of Chimchar, we've actually got two coming in Ultra Prism, but they've both got 60 HP, and we have an existing Chimchar, which has 60 HP. I personally am a fan of this one because for a colourless energy, flip 3 coins 10 times the number of heads. None of them are particularly great, but a treble heads here will give you a KO on something like a Beldum or a Rowlet. It's a bit of a stretch. It doesn't really make a huge difference. They've all got a retreat cost of 1. They've all got 60 HP. You're unlikely to be attacking with any of them. But I think Fury Swipes, which I'm assuming is what it's called, is probably the best of the three. And the last of these little Pokemon that actually have two versions coming in Ultra Prism is Gible. Now, Gible gives me pause to stop and think, because you know what? There's 3 of them, 2 in Ultra Prism, 1 normal. They've all got reasons to play them. Now, as a general rule, this one would generally be pretty good, 60 HP, and if it's got any fighting energy attached to it, it has free retreat. Free retreat is good, but then we go to this one, which first of all has 50 HP, so we're thinking, hang on a second, 50 HP, that's not particularly good, but it is, because it's got the attack Ascension, which just evolves from the deck. Search your deck for a card that evolves from Gible and put it onto Gible. Which means at the beginning of your next turn, you've got a Gabite sitting there ready to evolve. We have also got the one from Breakthrough, which has got 60 HP and a nice little attack that discards a card from your hand and draws 2, which is nice if you've got nothing. But I think you've got to go for the Ascension Gible here. I really do think that Ascension attack is too good. Now, the Salandit from Ultra Prism has 70 HP, which is pretty nice. We do have an existing Salandit with 70 HP. I mean, they're both pretty much of a muchness, but I think we should stick with the one from Guardian's Rising. Double colourless, 60 damage if the defending Pokemon is poisoned. It's very rare you'll actually be using it, but you're stuck at a retreat cost of 1 regardless. You've got 70 HP regardless. Do remember there is a psychic one if you want to get yourself a different weakness, but I think we should probably stick with the one from Guardian's Rising. We have a new Murkrow coming out. Now, we've already got a Murkrow in Guardian's Rising. The one we've currently got has 70 HP. The new one has 70 HP. I quite like both of them, to be honest. Guardian's Rising does 10 damage and your opponent switches their active. The one from Ultra Prism does 10 damage and stops them retreating. Both got a retreat cost of 1, weakness to lightning, resistance to fighting, etc. And both of these effects could actually be pretty good. Sometimes you want them to switch, sometimes you want to stop them retreating. I don't have a huge preference one way or the other with Murkrow. I think both of them are alright, both of them are playable, so I will leave it up to your judgment. But I don't think there's any judgment in Sneasel. Again, we've got a lot of similarities here: 70 HP, weakness to fighting, resistance to psychic, and a retreat cost of 1. The difference is this new Sneasel has a really nice attack, Stealthy Smash. If you go second, you can only use it if you go second, but if you go second for 1 colourless energy, discard an energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon, i.e. undo their energy attachment from their first turn if they go first. Not to mention the ridiculous artwork with Cyrus in the background, but generally speaking here, I think this new Sneasel is the one to go for, because are you really going to use Hone Claws one turn with the Burning Shadow Sneasel, and then use Slash the following turn? I don't think you are. Now, in terms of Alolan Diglett, you've got a little bit of a choice. So we've got the existing Alolan Diglett from Sun and Moon, which for 0 energy lets you reorder the top 3 cards of your deck. It is a single puzzle of time in an attack. But then again, this new Alolan Diglett, for 0 energy, flip a coin until you hit a tails, 10 times the number of heads. Now, it's not a great attack, but we've got plenty of metal weak basics at the moment, Alolan Vulpix really being the one that springs to mind, so I could see a reason to play this new one. Now, we also have a new Magnemite coming in this new set, and by a new Magnemite, I mean 2 new Magnemites. Yeah, sorry, I said I did all the ones that had 2 new ones earlier. Sorry about that. That actually leaves us with 5 Magnemites that we can use, which is pretty gosh darn good. I quite like the attack of this new metal one. Search your deck for up to 3 metal energy cards and put them into your hand, but one's got an ability that means that when it's on the bench, it takes no damage from attacks, just like the old Squirtle we used to have. And when we've got stuff like Buzzwole running around, I think this has got to be the one to go for. And all of the lightning type ones, again, I don't think are playable because Buzzwole is running around. Now, we've got a new Bronzor coming. And honestly here, I don't think there's much to choose between the Bronzors. This new Bronzor puts them to sleep straight away, which is nice, I suppose. And then we've got this one from Fates Collide, which flip a coin if heads it gets immunity the following turn. But then there's this one from Breakthrough that for a double colourless energy does 70 damage if your opponent only has 1 prize card remaining. They're all occasionally vaguely useful attacks, so I'm going to leave it up to you guys as to which one you like. I'm not giving you any choice with Eevee though. It's really simple. We have the Energy Evolution Eevee from Sun and Moon. This new Eevee is nowhere near as good. Don't play it. The Energy Evolution Eevee is the only one you'll ever need until it's rotated. Now, in terms of Alolan Sandshrew, we again see a lot of similarities. We've got 60 HP, which is about what we would expect, weakness to metal and all of that. The old one for 0 energy, flip a coin, if heads you get immunity the following turn. The new one has Fury Swipes, flip 3 coins, 10 damage times a number of heads. I could see an argument for either attack here, and I don't think either is particularly better. Personally, I'd go Fury Swipes, but I wouldn't be mad at you whichever one you chose. Now, in terms of Drifloon, we are getting a new Drifloon that can confuse for 1 psychic energy. Honestly, I think the old Drifloon is a little bit better. Colourless energy, move 1 damage counter from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. That's pretty nice. I think that is the way to go. Now, in terms of Riolu, we're actually tripping Riolu at the moment. We've got 3 that are currently legal, and we've got a new one coming. The new one for a colourless energy, flip a coin if heads it gets immunity the following turn, I think is probably the best of the lot. Don't go for the 60 HP one, obviously. I mean, there is an argument to go for the one with double smash, because it could do 20 damage for 1 energy, which is 40 with a strong energy. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of that. I know a lot of these Pokemon do have the flip a coin if heads they've got immunity next turn. But you know what? It's not a bad attack, ladies and gentlemen. I can think of worse things to do. Remember, you shouldn't be attacking with these Pokemon really anyway. Now, in terms of Hippotas, it's a bit of a weird one because they've both got an attack for free energy, but the new one's got 90 HP rather than 80, and if you have 3 or fewer cards left in your deck, you do 130 damage. That's almost never gonna happen. But it's got 10 more HP, and it technically can happen. And for that reason, I've got to say that the new Hippotas really is the way to go here. And the last Pokemon we need to talk about is one of my favourite artworks from Ultra Prism. It's Yungoos. Now, Yungoos has 70 HP regardless of which one you go for, 1 retreat cost, weakness to fighting. I kind of like using Scout for 1 colourless energy to look at your opponent's hand. But then again, the next turn, they're probably going to play a supporter like an N anyway, and it's going to end up being pointless. I think I still like the new one because you can do 30 damage for a double colourless energy. Now, you do 10 to yourself, but if nothing else, look how much better the artwork is. I'm going for the new artwork. Ladies and gentlemen, this went down well last set when I did it. I thought it was worth doing again, and it's nice, because I get these questions from new players quite a lot. Which Yungoos should I use? Which Riolu should I use, etc.? Well, now you've got the answer for everything you need, but as always, I want to hear from you guys, so pop it down in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, etc., you can do so by going to patreon.com/PTCGRadio. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.